Carroll bringing it forward. Thompson's making the run. Carroll hangs on to it though. Still Davy Carroll. Could go all the way here. Oh, what a goal!
Hello, I'm Phil Catchpole and welcome to this week's episode of Ringing the Blues, your podcast dedicated to the wonderful Wycombe Wanderers. On this week's show, we have all the action and reaction from the game against Crewe at Adams Park. We hear from Ryan Tafazolli, Rob Couhig and former Chairboys manager, the much-loved John Gorman. Plus, we have the opposition view times 2 this week.
Imagine having to watch that every week.
But first, let's head to Mexico City for the results and some important Chairboys Spanish. Here's Uri.
We are ringing the blues from Mexico City. My name is Uri, and here are the results for League 1. AFC Wimbledon 0, Wigan Athletic 2, Accrington Stanley 2, Portsmouth 2, Bolton Wanderers 2, Gillingham 2, Burton Albion 1, Oxford United 3, Doncaster Rovers 3, Cheltenham Town 2, Ipswich Town 2, Fleetwood Town 1, MK Dons 0, Rotherham United 3, Morecambe 1, Plymouth Argyle 1, Sheffield Wednesday 1, Lincoln City 1, Shrewsbury Town 4, Cambridge United 1, Sunderland 0, Charlton Athletic 1, Wycombe Wanderers 2, Crewe Alexandra 1. So Wycombe scored 2 goals at the end of each half. Tafazolli at 45 plus 1 and Tafazolli again at 90 plus 7. So for Chairboys Spanish this week we have death, taxes and injury time winners at Adams Park. So death, muerte. Oh, Day of the Dead is approaching in Mexico. Día de los Muertos. Taxes, impuestos. Injury time, well, in Spanish we don't say injury time, which would be translated as tiempo de lesiones, injury lesión. We say something more like tiempo de compensación, compensation time. So, in Spanish, death, taxes and injury time winners at Adams Park. Muerte, impuestos y goles en tiempo de compensación en Adams Park. And that's all for this week. Back to England with my amigo Phil Catchpole at the Ringing the Blues studios. Until next week, adios.
Struggling Crewe were the visitors to Adams Park as Wycombe looked to make it 8 consecutive home victories in the league. Here's what happened. Stewart stops the corner and then is fouled quite a long. Free kick to Wycombe in the left back position. So there's a wall of Gomez and Long. Escalainen has positioned that wall. It's a cross, goes towards Tafazolli. Stewart's there as well. Drops to Thompson! Deflected in there! Curtis Thompson! I think it's hit Tafazolli on the way through. But Wycombe have found the breakthrough at the end of this first half. Wycombe Wanderers 1, Crewe 0. Bowery into the feet of Mandron. Little 1-2 with Bowery. Bowery's in the box now, narrow angle. Goes for goal. Goes again and scores! Bowery with the equaliser. And total football from Crewe. Must have been 30 or 40 passes. Bowery into the box. First shot came off the boot of Stockdale. And the rebound was put home. And it's Wycombe 1, Crewe 1. Abita crosses in. Tafazolli! Goal! Ryan Tafazolli with possibly the last kick of the game, his second of the afternoon, and Wycombe lead at the death. Wycombe 2, Crewe 1. Gareth, I think I said it, death, taxes, injury time, winners at Adams Park. That's what we come to expect.
Don't leave early. I keep saying it, I said it after Morecambe, and I hope everyone heeded my warning. It looked like we were pretty full at the end there, and they've seen a fantastic, feels like a comeback, but it's a winner from Ryan Tafazolli. But there was countless chances in this game today for us, and I'm not going to dismiss Crewe. They had a couple of good chances. David Stockdale made a brilliant save in the first half, and we almost kept the second one out, but we limited them to very few chances at our goal. How we haven't scored more today, you've got to give credit to the Crewe defenders, to the Crewe defence and the keeper, and we've hit the post. Brandon's had a couple of one-on-ones, and Akinfenwa, when he came on, I thought the net was going to ripple, and I was going to be praised for a brilliant substitution. But it was one of those moments at the end there, which I think when we haven't played to our maximum, we have been brilliant here, but we weren't as good as we have been today. But we still get the win. I think that's real positive signs for a team that's wanting to achieve this year. The trip last week to Doncaster and the Yorkshire trip, I think took its toll on us a little bit leg-wise. We got home at 4 a.m. Some of the boys would get home then at 5, 6 a.m. because they live an hour and a half away from Wycombe, and that is bound to take its toll on you. But no excuses, it's my job to see that toll and my job to rotate the squad how I see fit. And I think that we got away with it not being at our best, but that's the sign of a good team, I think, and that's really encouraging.
There was a certain calmness, which sounds like a ridiculous word to use after what we've just seen, but there seemed to be a calmness about the build-up play, especially in stoppage time.
Do you know, I was really proud of him, and I don't know if you listened in on my post-match there, Phil, because these are the words I used. That I said to them, I'm so proud of them for coming back into it. But what I'm really impressed with is the composure that the boys had around the edge of the box. It wasn't just get your shot off at all costs because we need to score. It was, let's work this, let's take that extra pass at times. And Dobbo's worked hard on that in training, and it's something we've been trying to improve on. And the players that we've brought in, over the last couple of seasons, I think are capable of doing this. And the goal actually itself was it was a composed set for a composed cross. It wasn't just a panic, and it wasn't just a set play but everyone will think, it's typical Wycombe, set pieces, long throw-ins to get ball forward. Great, keep thinking that, because that's your downfall, because we play some real good stuff in their half today, and like I say, how we haven't added to our tally is a mystery. And it could have been more comfortable, but you have to credit Crewe. They defended well. They really tried to break the game up second half, and luckily we scored in that last dying seconds, which gives us the 3 points.
And some finish by Ryan Tafazolli as well, especially for a defender.
Yeah, it's Ryan's quality. He's a very composed, laid back, and I have to rile him up sometimes because he can be too laid back and casual and composed, but that's his game. He's a very steady of himself. He's very assured the way he plays. I think he's been a fantastic player for us since he's come in, and I think having Ryan and Uchi last year fit at the first half of the season, I think we'd have survived in the Championship. That's the stature of him. But I won't do individuals here. I feel obliged to name the other 18 now, because they've all played their part, and Taff will be the first one to say, I couldn't do it without my teammates. I know that, and he's right, he couldn't, and I couldn't do it without the players and the fans and the staff that I have. So credit to them all. But again, we've got to keep grounded. It's only October, but it's nice to be sat where we are in the league.
The chairman had organised some fireworks to be let off after the final whistle, so it's just as well that winner went in, really, wasn't it?
Yeah, Rob's put me under a bit of pressure there. I knew about the fireworks, and I didn't want the fireworks to be the Scotty Cashcock return story, which he had one shot with his right foot from distance. I thought the lads would really secure on him, because that could have been a story that happens so often in football. But listen, I cannot praise the Couhigs enough. You know that. I've done it week in, week out. I think they're fantastic what they've done for this football club, and I'm hoping to pay them back with some achievement this season. What that is, I don't know yet, but at the moment we're sitting at the right end of the table.
A tough 2 goals today, 2 injury time goals, one in the first half, one in the second half. We'll get to the second one in a bit. Tell me about the first one, because it seemed to come through a crowd.
The first one was just right place, right time. You know, Kurtz had a shot from the edge of the box and luckily ricocheted off me and found its way in the back of the net, so I was buzzing about that.
Wycombe needed that, didn't they? Because it was hard in that first half. To go in 1-0 up must have given you a real boost.
Yeah, I mean, we played well at times. You know, we had chances, like a few one-on-ones, and we know at home with the momentum behind us, the fans behind us, that we are always going to create chances. Today, it didn't really fall our way at times, but to get that little bit of luck sometimes is what you need, and we're grateful for that today.
Long away trip in midweek as well. Did that have any bearing on today?
I suppose it can do, maybe physically, mentally as well, because Rotherham was a very tough game. But to be honest, I think with the training schedule here and the way the boys recover and the professionalism in the group, we always go into every game pretty fresh. And I think it was just a case of today, Crewe actually, their game plan was pretty decent. They nullified a few of our threats, and they were also a little bit of a threat going forward. So, yeah, delighted to get the 3 points. Good to get 2 goals, and on to the next one.
Talk to me about the second goal then, because you look like a centre forward in injury time there.
Do you know what? I said to the boys, I should have had a hat-trick. JJ's deliveries, Sully's deliveries when he come on, unbelievable. And then it was Jord at the end. His right foot cross onto my right foot, both left-footed. Probably won't see that too often, and just luckily got in front of the defender and just managed to flick it past the goalkeeper.
And what was that noise like from the terrace when the ball hit the back of the net?
Crazy, yeah. Do you know what? When I score, it's like, because it's such an unusual feeling, I kind of find myself like in no man's land. The boys are on to me now saying like, you've got to get a celebration. When I scored the first one, I don't think the aeroplane was very appropriate for the goal, but I just thought, you know what, it's better than me just standing there like double fist pump, which I normally do. So yeah, just delighted.
Well, that's 4 for the season now, so
yeah.
You need to work in training on a celebration?
I know. Do you know what? I'm going to actually work on a little something, because if I do pop up with another 1 or 2, that would be great, but I need a little celebration to go with them, don't I? So.
We let a goal in today, but before that, 3 clean sheets, so you must be pleased as well defensively as well with what Wycombe have been up to this season.
I know. Do you know what? It's always nice to score goals, but I take more pride in clean sheets, to be honest, and it would have been good to keep another clean sheet. It would have been 4 in a row, but look, 3 clean sheets out of 4 with only 1 goal conceded is not bad. It's not like the goal they scored, they really carved us apart. Stocko's made a great save, one of them ones where it falls back to the guy who's had the shot and he's reacted quickest, to be fair. But yeah, great team spirit, great belief from the boys to go and nick it at the end of 97 minutes.
Never leave Adams Park early. That's the lesson for us all. A tough one to take for the Crewe fans. Here's what they had to say after the game in the Opposition View, Part 1. Wartsman.
A spirited second-half performance that deserved a point. Alas, we can't defend set pieces. Surely we do this in training. So I don't know why we're so piss-poor at it. I felt sorry for the lads today, though, as they gave their all in the second half. Starting to get adrift at the bottom now, though. Very worrying times.
Fiddler.
Can you believe that a team can be so consistent in giving away a goal in the dying minutes of the game? For goodness sake, try and keep possession in that dangerous period, or hoof the ball out of play, or up the far end of the pitch.
Kieran Stoneley.
Yet again, another last-minute goal kills us off. Heads up, lads, it can't get any worse. The only way is up, and the season is far from over.
Callum Cessford.
We showed fight, desire, passion, and a lot of quality on the ball, especially when the main man, Tommy Lowry, came on. His movement on and off the ball changed our game completely. Sheer devastation at the end, but something to build on for sure.
Scott Morris.
Gutted with that defeat. I thought we played well, but towards the end it just felt inevitable that we were going to concede.
James Lindsay.
What are these officials playing at week in, week out? We've been given 7, 8 or 9 added minutes. Are they all related to Fergie?
Matty Paul Proudlove.
I thought Wycombe were lucky in the end, but when you're down at the bottom, that's what happens. I don't know where the ref got his injury time from, though. Shocking refereeing.
Simon McKee.
A cruel and undeserved kick in the teeth after a good performance. We paid the price for chasing a late winner.
Jamie Baker.
I was stood at the top of the Burj Khalifa in Dubai when the late Tafazolli winner came through. Even in the middle of the effing desert, thousands of miles away, the Alex can ruin your weekend.
Ants Crewe.
I expected to get beat, but as usual, it's the hope that kills you.
The Wycombe chairman, Rob Couhig, had been in the UK for a week and rounded off this trip watching the game at Adams Park. I caught up with him not long after the fireworks. Rob, a few Wycombe fans had their eyebrows raised when they thought fireworks in the daytime after the game, but when Wycombe win, they make sense.
They do make sense, and, you know, was there ever any doubt that we were winning?
Well, they left it late today again. I mean, they normally leave it late, but 97 minutes. I mean, are you becoming accustomed to this now?
No. No, this is wildly exciting. It is what makes the game so interesting. I don't know much about the game, but here's what I did notice. We were pounding on their goal, and it was just a question of time and whether the clock was going to run out before we scored. That was what I was worried about.
I mean, there's been some unbelievable endings at Adams Park down the years, but you can't really write these, and a defender with a striker's finish at the end.
Well, that was spectacular, and of course I was scared to death that he wasn't going to get it, and then I'm going to light the fireworks off, and then people are going to burn me just for the hell of it. So it all worked out perfectly. It really did. And the guys have had a tough streak of games. You know, that game on Tuesday night was as tough a game as you're likely to play, and then you got to bounce back and play here, and we took some knocks, and so depth willeth out, fortunately, and being in the right place at the right time.
And before the game, you were on the trust table meeting the fans before the game. How did that go?
Went pretty well. They seemingly are pretty pleased. Of course, how do you complain about a team that's battling at the top of the table? And that, again, all the guys are so good. They reach out to the community. They're part of the community.
And a few of the fans are asking me to ask you about the legal case with Derby. Is there anything progressing there?
No, we've put it in the hands of our lawyers. They have made claims, as I understand it, against the administrator, and they have been made known of our claims. So after this, who the heck knows? Look, it's hard enough understanding American bankruptcy law. Now I got to get into British administrative bankruptcy, basically, in a unique sport. So we thought the best thing to do is leave it with the lawyers.
So to clarify, it's Wycombe taking legal action against Derby County?
Correct. And I don't know if you could truly call it legal action as much as I appreciate it. The claim's been presented. It's with all the other claims that have been presented against Derby. It's, to the best of my knowledge, I don't know if it's a secured or unsecured claim, but it gets into that big jumble of things that Derby has to deal with.
And off the pitch, are you pleased with how things are going? You've been back this week as well, so
yeah, I'm. Look, the guys are doing, the staff, I should say, is doing a tremendous job. We have in place, thanks to the folks, I think the best set of metrics of what you can do. We put in systems that work. The fans are getting used to our ideas of let's use the internet, let's make things easy, and it works for us. And so it allows us to deliver a better product on the field because we're more successful off, and because they're more successful on the field, we're more successful off. So it's a great synergy.
And you'll be back stateside then, watching online for the next few games?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'll be listening to you and your fellow commentators. Yeah, it will be on. And then the ever-growing worldwide Wycombe phenomenon is really taken off. And You know, by this time next week, we will have people, I want to say from 10 different countries on our squad. First generation, and then fan-wise, I was talking with Harry, our global ambassador, and he says we're up to 70 countries now. So, I mean, from 8, that's pretty good. We're having fun.
There it goes.
Last Tuesday, Wycombe took on an in-form Rotherham in a tight 0-0, with both teams cancelling each other out. Here's what the Millers fans had to say after the feast of football at the New York Stadium.
Hold on, everybody. Here it comes.
C.A. Miller.
Well, I suppose 0-0 is better than we usually do against them, so that's something positive to take from tonight. Wycombe's style is uglier than Cinderella's sisters after they've taken another beating with the ugly stick. And some people say we are an unattractive team to watch. I guess that's why the game took 2 hours and 3 minutes from start to finish.
Miller's time.
I would have taken a point beforehand, and Wycombe seemed desperate just for that. I've never seen a team higher in the table than their opponents play so blatantly for a draw. Absolutely turgid from start to finish. So glad nothing crazy happened at the end for an undeserved away win. Oh, damn, that were ugly.
Scum triumphant.
I've never seen some of the tricks they pull to waste time before. The physios pretending not to have seen the ref call them on. Their injured player coming back onto the pitch before the ref let him. Their subs being sent to warm up at the corner flag whenever Balassa took a corner from that side in order to distract him. Shithouses.
Derek Prosser.
We all knew what to expect. We all knew how Wycombe could play. They've made a dark art out of it. We just had to find a way to overcome it, and we fell short. Only one side achieved what they came to do tonight, and that was Wycombe. They'll be chuffed with the point. I'd say the 200 plus that made the trip up from Wycombe on a rainy Tuesday night, knowing what was in store, are real hardcore fans. Imagine having to watch that every week.
If you want a new paradise, simply look around and view it. Anything you want to do it. Want to make the world, there's nothing to it.
Smiler.
Wycombe are good at what they do. They whinge, pressurise the officials, feign injury, waste time, and do whatever they can to slow the game down and generally get under everyone's skin. It's easy to get sucked into an arm wrestle with them, and that's what happened tonight. They are very well organised and have a sprinkling of decent players. They are horrible, and they are very good at being horrible.
Adam Wright.
Wycombe are the ugliest team ever to kick a ball. They didn't even attempt to play football tonight. And what incomprehensible ineptitude from the referee. If Bobby Madeley was a doctor, he'd be struck off.
Nick the Fish.
I know teams don't want to attack us for fear of being picked off, but my God, Wycombe bore the tits off me. Imagine travelling 320 miles to watch that.
Sammy Tux.
A lot of people are slating Wycombe, and yes, they are dreadful to watch. But it was effective, it works, and it got them a point tonight. How many times last season should Rotherham have employed those tactics?
Neil Rocket.
My 9-year-old grandson is up from Leicestershire this week, so I took him to the game tonight. I hope he'll forgive me one day.
Dusty's Ghost.
Fair play to Wycombe. They're an alehouse team and they know the drill. Anyone expecting anything different hasn't been paying attention.
guest of honour for the Crewe game was the much-loved former Chairboys manager John Gorman. John's team played a fantastic brand of football during his time at Adams Park, and Wycombe went 21 games unbeaten at the start of the 2005-2006 season, before a double personal tragedy hit. The death of player Mark Philo was followed closely by the death of John's wife from cancer. Well, I caught up with John yesterday, and he was in sparkling form after the game. John Gorman, welcome back to Adams Park. Great to see you.
Thank you. It's been a pleasure. It's been lovely coming back, to be honest. It's been a great day.
It was good of the players to put a bit of a show on for you at the end there as well.
Yeah, at the end. They did well at the end. And I must admit, you can see it was a difficult game. Crewe came today and gave a real good account of themselves. I mean, the Crewe teams of old have always been good passing teams, and that was a team that surprised us because they're near the bottom of the league, but they've got character, they've got good young players, they've always have done. But Wycombe, Shrew Gareth, and players like coaches like Blooms is now coach as well, and assistant manager Robbo, they seem to be get the team really going well. They're fired up, and it's nice to see Akinfenwa, the big man, coming on at the end, because he just gives them that little bit extra. They can get it in the box and anything can happen. And funny enough, the guy who crossed it, is it Obito? I liked him, and what was good was he was crossing really well, but trying to find him in the air because of the height. But he miskicked that cross. He hit it low, and it ends up being the winning goal from the big. Was it the big centre half that scored? What was his name again?
Tafazolli.
Just as well you said it, not me. And Tafazolli, yeah, but he was outstanding as well. And the other centre half I liked him because he dropped his shoulder and came forward. And to be fair, Wycombe never ever stopped. They played right till the 97th minute. You can't ask any more, and that shows a great credit to the manager and his staff and the players themselves.
Half time, you were put out onto the pitch, and it was a lovely reception from the fans. How did you feel to hear that?
I felt great, except Matt made me walk. He was going to make me walk all the way to the halfway line, which I made sure that even some of the players noticed it and says that was good. He forced him to come to me, because I'm getting a bit older now, not as fit as I used to be. But no, it was lovely, and Matt was good questions, and it was lovely reception I got. It was really nice. It did make me feel very proud to come back here again.
I was going to say, a long career in football, you managed in different places, internationally as well. So how does that rank in your receptions when you go back and visit?
Yeah, it's like when I went back to Carlisle in places. When I first played from Celtic, I went to Carlisle, and I went back, funny enough, with Wycombe, and the crowd gave me, I was like embarrassed almost. They hadn't forgotten me as a player, so it's nice to be remembered, isn't it? And even MK Dons, people don't realise, I went back there as well, and I got a really nice reception there. And it's surprising, and sometimes, but that's the nice thing about football. Sometimes the fans get criticised, but today I just want to say thank you to them all. There were wonderful fans as well. None of them left. There was only a couple of people left at the end. Everybody stayed, so they must have known there was always something going to happen, and they got the result in the end, which was wonderful.
You had a good close look at the pitch at half time. I bet you loved the playing surface like this back in your day.
It was beautiful. I can't remember Steve Hayes and Ivor and that were in charge, and I was going, wait a minute, they were getting rugby on it. What's this, rugby on it? The best pitch, because we had a lovely pitch at first as well, and then we started to play rugby, and we were the best passing team in the league, and we were having to play on a rugby pitch, so Matt knows what I'm like. Rugby's not my game, because this is a football pitch, and if it stays like this, then it's a pleasure. It must be wonderful for the lads to play here.
The warmth from the fans. I think a lot of the fans who remember your time here as manager, they call it Gourmania, the football here.
Do they?
Yeah. What do you reckon to that?
Yeah, it's a good. I like that. Yeah, I can't complain. I'm very happy that they remember me, even though we didn't win the league, which we should have done. We would have done, if I'm being honest. But circumstances change things. But it's nice to be remembered, because remember, entertainment's what football's about, and that's what I tried to do.
And Matt Bloomfield was one of your players back then. He's still here.
He's wonderful, absolutely. I keep in touch with Matty all the time, and he's an amazing player, and he's amazing. He'll be a great coach. I hope he gets a chance to further his career and hopefully stay at Wycombe for a long time.
And are you still painting, John?
Yeah, I'm very much so. So anybody wants to buy my paintings, just get my website. I've not got one, but my email. I know I should have, but galloping.gorman, small capitals, @gmail.com. I've done a few Wycombe people, and I'm just doing one. I know he's not particularly liked here, which he should be, because he's done a lot for the club with Steve Hayes. I was going to do one from the day because he invited me to his box. I'm halfway through it, so I'm just doing it for a laugh. But I'm going to do one of Gareth, and hopefully it'll be put on show.
I saw one of Bill Turnbull you did, and it was uncanny, the likeness.
Yeah, definitely. I'm even better now. The more you do, the better you get. Okay.
Well, John, it's great to see you looking so well, and you're always welcome here at Adams Park.
Thanks, so pleasure to be here.
Right, that's your lot for this week. Many thanks to Ryan Tafazolli, Rob Couhig and John Gorman. We'll be back soon. In the meantime, come on you Blues.
Imagine having to watch that every week.